It's June 20th in my 5B garden here in Colorado. Starting to see hummingbirds. They are not just visiting this hummingbird feeder here, but there was a little girl one yesterday who was dipping into these salvia. These are Rockin' the Blues salvia, I think from Proven Winners. Here's the trailing silverberry supertunias going along with them. Here's one that I accidentally broke off a little bit, but you can see just how nicely they are going, like just how nicely they're growing. A couple of celosteas and some random seeds that I've been just tossing in the ground, as well as a couple of plants that just needed a home. Here are the bubblegum pink supertunias and another one of those salvias. Excitingly, we still have a couple of these ranunculus corms that were growing. They're not dead yet. They're not really getting any sun because just of the way everything goes. But we'll see if they throw something. And then here, I had popped a morning glory seed in, and you can see there's the morning glory seed with a bit of salvia on it, is actually alive and moving along. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's show you what's going on here. We'll go down to the main garden bed that's active here in summertime first, and I'll show you what came up. Well, so these white alliums are, I believe, Allium nigrum. They were part of the purple sensation allium mix. You can see here the purple sensation. They are, for the most part, they've lost their little petals. Like those little petals are drying out, but you can see which ones were pollinated. And then the Allium nigrum, they're about the same height, 30 inches maybe. I have cut back a bit of the foliage that has already yellowed and died, just for a bit of cleanup in the garden without removing the active leaves. Down here, these are, I'm pretty sure, these little seedlings. They are probably 2 inches tall. I think these are cosmos. These are going to be single variety cosmos. And then this should be a bit of basil, hopefully. Look at this. I had popped a couple of gladiolus corms. These might actually be this might be an acadanthera instead. That's white, like a single bloom with white and purple. What I need to do though is make sure that it's not thrips infested, because that's why I had to get rid of all my other corms. Kind of sad. All right, here we are, 2 tomato plants together that were given to me by the neighbor whose yard you just saw from the side, and we're even starting to see some flowers there. These are potato plants. 3-4 potato plants that came up unexpectedly. There's even some buds starting, which tells me that possibly some of the tubers are beginning to form. I had put these into the ground just as cut up potatoes for composting, and look at them coming up. I was not expecting to be growing potatoes, but I am. A little pea plant here. I'm gonna have to give it some kind of support. It is probably, it's about 4 to 5 inches tall now. And then a couple of other seeds that I was intending to come up. I think this one here might be a sunflower. We'll see. This one here, I'm pretty sure is too, since that is, I think that's actually the seed. Yeah, there we go. That is the husk of the shell. So this here is in fact a sunflower coming up. There should be more that are coming up back here. I tend to get sunflowers that have some kind of reddish color. I'm actually terribly fond of the ones that are like your traditional sunflower look. All right, and then this here is a rescue from the Lowe's. This is going to be, if it survives, it's dead all the way back to about right here. This is going to be a kefir pear tree. We'll see how it survives. I potted it up. I'm gonna have to add some of my microrhizomes there, but the bottom part of the stem is alive, and we'll see what happens. Here we go. This is another one of those morning glories. My point with the morning glories was to see if I could find, just to see if I could grow them and to see if they would trail, the up to 10 feet that they're supposed to, and just get some extra color back here. I've got plenty of spot for it to trail, and I have some little stakes that they could wind up. These here are cosmos, I'm pretty sure. Here, look at that, we've got another one of these, possibly acanthera coming up. 2 more tomato plants. The reason why they are so close here is that my neighbor who gave them to me, I don't know if you can really see down there, but had 2 of them in the pot, and I could have thinned it down to 1, but just decided not to. Again, a couple of cosmos and one of those morning glories. I think they're going to be really cool. But yeah, my autumn blaze maple. There are some of the tulips that are just dying back now. What you'll notice here through the garden is this was my solution. They're like giant popsicle sticks that you'll see about to mark now before all the tulips are have died back, so I know where I can fit in a couple of more tulips for this coming fall, since I've got more coming, and I wanted to see pop some in. These here were just ones that I had thrown in the ground at the very end of the season because I needed space, and I just dug them in. So as you see, all of the little all these actually quite large craft popsicle stick type of things, that's where I'm planning to add more tulips. I'm going to keep it back here as the kind of pinkish whitish garden, but I'm also going to be adding in some more dark kind of burgundy colors. Here we go. This is the larger rose bush that I've had back here for a few years. All the water from the tulips that I've been throwing on it this year has definitely made all of the roses flesh out more. In fact, these 2 smaller rose bushes behind here that was given to me by some friends last year, they have already been blooming, and I need to go deadhead them some more. And then the larger rose bush in the back is, for reference, is about 20 inches or so. That is, yes, your eyes do not fail you, that is a supertunia that I popped in the ground. It is so far not thriving. I'm gonna give it some more fertilizer. It's been in there about a week. But I thought I'd see, that's a perfect spot. If it really does get like 3 feet by 3 feet, then that would be the spot to do it. Grabbed a couple of little coleus. They are surviving here. There's some snapdragons between the coleus plants. And then in the back is phlox coming back. I moved the stock that was in the front yard into the back here just to get some coolness. I'm not really expecting a whole lot from that stock. And then over here we've got salvia from last year. Most of them are the purple, but I think it looks like there's at least one white back there. And it's kind of funny because there you go. It's like a house with a chimney. It just has one little side has started coming up so far. And over here, yeah, they're coming up. They're a bit of ground cover. So I think we're just going to enjoy them. Over here, I had also thrown a couple of additional seeds in the ground. I don't know. I know this is some of the phlox that's coming up from last year from the roots. This one here, that is either one of the seeds that I put in, or it's a weed, and we'll find out. This here is, I think, one of the little morning glory seeds. And then I've added some mulch on it. A good tip, like in my town, if you live in the county, you can go get mulch from their /mulch program. They don't promise it's great mulch. Here you can see it's a lot of different colors. I'm just hoping it isn't infested with anything. But for the people who take their branches and everything to the city, they'll grind them up and then they make them available for mulch. So I thought that would be a way to be sort of environmentally friendly this year. It's interesting, just in the spots of the garden here, you can see that the tulips still have not died back all that much, but they're going. The daffodils are by and large staying green longer than the tulips did. I've got a couple of little lantanas over there that I just popped into the ground since this green foliage is going to be gone soon. There's the hydrangea plant that has not done this well for since it was put in the ground. They just really need a lot more water than I had thought that they were already getting. Look at this. Here we go with a, this is over 2 feet tall at this point. There are buds all over the place with it. It is happy. This rose has been back here for a few years. I think it's a knockout one probably, but yeah, just flowering prolifically. But it's time to start deadheading a couple of them. But yeah, so water, who would have thought? Okay, back over here, this is the dwarf variegated willow. This was the one that was up in the front yard until last fall, and then I popped it down here. And I tell you about its brother, its mate, who's been back here for an extra year. So there we go. That one is 3 feet tall. We're gonna pan over. This is the one that was down here for all last year. Like, it doesn't even fit into the screen. Little, big. This one, it's getting to be an absolute monster. I'm gonna try going sideways on the screen here just so you can see for comparison. I'm loving it. I know I'm gonna have to prune it. I'm gonna look that up more carefully to make sure I do it right. Here is the elderberry. You can see parts of it had died back. Like this here did not survive, not even the winter, but the fall. And over here, it's pushed brand new spikes up. It's kind of amazing. Oh, there we go. It's definitely getting a little bit too wet here when you start growing mushrooms next to your snapdragons. So we'll have to take care of that. Tulips dying back. All right, here's the snaps. Yep, gotta figure out how to deadhead these little guys too. But they're pretty. Last year, the ones I put in last year, that many of them have overwintered, are yellow. So these ones are going to be, these ones are pink. So like this one here is going to be yellow, and then hydrangea, and I think a couple of these have wintered over from last year. Yeah, I definitely have it a bit too moist back here at the moment. All right, here's the back bed. It is dying back, and I'll see there's a couple of the lilies that I really wasn't expecting to see any buds coming out of them. These were just scales that I had thrown in last year that are doing really well. So here's the garden. We're really getting some color there, as well as an enormous like octopus monster. And these junipers, they're hanging out. If they can survive back here, which is iffy, then I'll let them do it. Well, thanks for joining me. It's June 20th, and the Zone 5B garden is alive and mostly well. Take care.